Now I'll come to the second part. Was independence won only by the non-violent methods of Congress party? I do not want to take away credit from anybody who struggled hard for the freedom struggle. But just look at it. An agitation in 1920, an agitation in 1930, an agitation in 1942. Could these three peaceful agitations really dislodge British? That is what we should ask ourselves. Was that the way the freedom was gained? I am sorry, it was not just these peaceful agitations. There are sustained revolutionary pressure. The revolutionaries working in different parts of Bharat, disturbing British continuously. That disturbed them a lot. There was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose who established Azad Hind Fauj. First Indian tricolor was not hoisted on Red Fort on 15th August 1947, but in Assam, at that time Assam. So if you look at how independence was won, there are so many factors in that. We must also not forget the naval mutiny. It was also time when the Indian soldiers who fought in World War were coming back. They were armed, they were trained. There was strong sense of rebellion when the Azad Hind Fauj trials were going on in the Red Fort. And there was mutiny, there was rebellion in Mumbai by the Indian Navy, where the fires were on for more than a week, brutal uprising, brutal retaliation. Finally it was stopped, but it totally put pressure on British and they caved in. In fact, Prime Minister Attlee at that time has later on recorded that the British decided to leave India because of these factors, not just those peaceful agitations. So, in all, if you look at this freedom struggle, it's a long struggle. Dr. Hedgewar, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar talks about social revolution before the advent of the political revolution. He gives example of USA, he gives examples of Europe, Arabian countries, where till the Muhammad rose, there was no possibility of any armed rebellion. It was the change in society at that time which brought in this change. We had our own change in our own society. Chandragupta was preceded by Buddha. Then Shivaji was preceded by saints, including Samartha Ramdas. So these saints actually created the environment. If you look at the environment before independence, Swami Vivekananda had inspired national feeling in the country, and this change in the behavior of the nation, this cultural change slowly built up with various people coming in, Lokmanya Tilak and various other factors, and also RSS in 1925. This change in cultural atmosphere finally led to change in political atmosphere. So this cultural change of Bharat was very important for its independence, and it took 150 years to achieve that. This is what has happened in world history. This is what happened in India also. So this is the background of what happened. If we go further, did the 1947 achieve freedom for all? No, it did not. There were lakhs of Indians, Pondicherry, Goa, Daman-Diu, Nagar Haveli, where people were suffering under colonial powers of Portuguese and French. Puducherry was under French, and other places in the Western India were in the hands of Portuguese, and our government was not at all interested in gaining independence for our own brethren. Ultimately, in 1955, RSS started a satyagraha for independence of Goa. It tied up with other revolutionaries like Mohan Ranade, and there was a massive satyagraha in Goa. Rajau Mahakal of Indore lost his life in police firing. Hundreds were injured. All those people who offered satyagraha were offered support by the hosting families on the path all the way from Maharashtra going into Goa. Before this, in 1954, Dadra Nagar Haveli was liberated by RSS Swayamsevaks. It was Vinayak Rao Apte, who was a Sanghachalak of Pune, who led this batch, and they created situations in 175 Portuguese soldiers actually surrendered, and Indian flag was hoisted on those territories and handed over to Bharat. Indian government was not interested. There was a lot of pressure, and because of Satyagraha, things came out in open, and this is how slowly, after finally in 1961, Goa was liberated. So this lack of understanding how the other people still suffered, the lack of interest in our own people who were suffering under foreign rule, is something unique to Bharat when entire Bharat was liberated. So if you look at this complete freedom struggle story, you find that RSS, wherever it could, as a very young organization, and compare its role, very constructive role, to the Communist Party, which is leading this particular charge against RSS. In 1940, they were against British. When Russians had a tie-up with British, they became the touts of British. They got people arrested in 1942, and their role was always negative. In 1946, they released the thesis that India was a nation made of 17 different nationalities. So India must be broken up into 17 sovereign states, and this petition was given to British Commission in 1946. When India became free, communists did not agree that it was a freedom, because Stalin said this is not a freedom of proletariat, it is freedom of bourgeoisie. It's not real independence. So they went in a rebellion in Andhra Pradesh, and that communist rebellion lasted till 1951, till forceful armed intervention finally suppressed this particular agitation. That is when they joined the mainstream and saying that okay, India is free, and became a political party who would fight elections. So this is, in short, very short, the story of RSS role in freedom struggle, and how its people suffered, its people sacrificed their lives to see to it that we see a new India, the independent Bharat. Dhanyavad.